So I went to a pretty prestigious high school, which genuinely had one of the most expensive tuitions in the entire country. However, since our school was pretty new, the facilities were kinda underbaked. For one, the pond outside our theater was always green, and once a year a staff member would pour blue dye into the water, but that only made it more opaque, and it smelled so bad. We even saw dead fish once, which is not that surprising now that I think about it. Another thing was the fire alarms. Our fire alarms were so bad that they would randomly trigger once a week. And we would be forced to walk out of our freaking classrooms and line up at the football field, which was always hot as fuck. Everyone would be melting under the sun, hiding under whatever we could find, while the teachers yelled loudly about how we had to be quiet. Like it was such a problem that even the teachers didn't take them seriously. However, on one random ass Tuesday, the fire alarm was triggered and we were told to line up in the building, which, was unusual. Another thing which was unusual was how scared the teachers looked. My math teacher, who was already quite an expressive person, genuinely looked petrified. And obviously that made me scared as hell. Cutting through the loud whispers, the principal started handing out our phones and then told us to call our parents to pick us up. Apparently, the rest of our classes were cancelled and we needed to immediately collect our belongings. The whole building was suddenly filled with noise and it was chaos. People were rushing to get their things and some parents started arriving. As I dug around in my bag, I noticed that my phone was missing. Apparently, I had left it at home like a dumb shud. So I ended up having to call my parents on Discord from my iPad, and it was in the middle of school, so I don't think they expected it, and I don't think it rang because they didn't pick up. At this point, I was out of my options since, my parents weren't picking up my calls and some friends were already leaving, some teachers were already leaving. I was just like, fuck it. I walked up to my chemistry teacher and asked her to drop me off since we kind of lived in the same area. However, even she said that she was going back on a bike. So I just chickened out and said, oh, it was fine. I can go back with my parents. Thankfully, my parents did end up picking up the calls and they called me back and they picked me up. When I got home, my friends started blowing up my phone and telling me about everything that happened. Apparently, one of the IT teachers or staff member had sent an email to all the teachers and staff that they had planted a bomb at the school and that they needed to send him money or else he would detonate it. So apparently the school wages were so low despite having such a high tuition that this random guy felt like he needed to come up with this Looney Tunes as plan for money. Once everyone left, the police arrived to survey the area and they didn't end up finding a bomb. The next day, the school was indeed cancelled, but they never sent out an official explanation. They just said, oh, they had to fire an IT guy over an incident, even though we found out that he was detained by the police. And for some reason, we literally needed to come back the next Monday. Legit, everyone acted like nothing happened. Like, I'm glad no one was harmed, but I'm still mad at the school because they literally covered up all the news about this incident and they continued to pretend that it never happened. No assembly, nothing, just silence. I guess they wanted to keep their reputation, but it was certainly a new experience for me. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This was my first video, so if you guys support it, if you guys love it, let me know so I can make more of these in the future.